Good morning, students. I hope you all are fine. My name is Amarpreet Kaur and I am your computer teacher. We were doing a chapter number 2 whose name was Formulas, Functions and Charts in Excel. And we have covered a few topics. And today we will start from a topic functions. Okay, now first write the date and day on the top of this topic. Now, what is a function? Functions are predefined formulas in Excel to perform both simple and complex calculations. Okay, now you can do a calculations whether it is simple or complex by using functions. They accept and underline this line. Okay, and they accept arguments and return values. You can also accept any argument, or you can also return a value. Arguments are, underline this line, arguments. What are arguments? Arguments are input to functions. We will input something to the functions. These values can be numbers and these values can be any number or text. The values are given in and in parentheses, and we will write that value in a parenthesis in a bracket, and return values displays the function output. And what the return value do, underline this line, return value will provide us a output, or you can say provide us a result. Now, what are rules for using functions? First, all Excel functions must begin with equal sign. First, we will use a equal sign. Then function name must be a valid Excel name, and your function name should be a Excel name, and function must be followed by opening and closing, and there should be a parenthesis. Your function should be in parenthesis, and function must contain an argument, and there should be a argument. MS Excel provides the following categories of function. Now, what are the categories? What are the types? First, statistical function. Statistical functions calculates the maximum, minimum, and average of a set of numerical data. You can calculate a maximum value, minimum, or you can calculate average. Now, financial functions calculates interest on a loan or number of installments of a loan and amount of every installment, etc. By using a financial function, you can calculate an interest or installment. Next, date and time function. You can calculate a day, month, or year in a date, or hour, minute, and second in a particular time. You can calculate. Okay. Next, mathematical functions calculates the square root or absolute value of a number, product of a number. You can calculate a square root or absolute value. You can say, or you can calculate a product, means multiplication. You can apply any mathematical function. Next is logical function, evaluates conditions such as x greater than 5, or gives the result as true or false. It will do the comparison. Okay. Next is text functions. Text functions performs a number of operations on strings. You can perform a operations on strings. String means collection of characters, like hello. Hello is a string, friend is a string, and computer is a string, and etc. Such as finding the length of a string. You can find the length of a string, or joining. You can join a two strings, or searching for a one string inside another. You can also search a string. Next is database function. Query a database based on the data contained in the database. You can use a query. We will use a query. There will be some statement we apply on a database. Next is information function. Provide information about a specific cell, such as a type of data it contains, that is textual or numerical. It will give only information about the whether data is in text form or in numeric form, that is 1 2 3, like that. Next, lookup and reference function locates specific values in specific cells. You can locate the only values by using a lookup and a reference function. Now let us discuss some of these categories in details. There are many more functions, like first one is mathematical function. Here columns are given. First is function, purpose of that function, and then example. First is sum, and here we will write a range. It return the sum of the range. The format of the example of this is sum, and you want to add these numbers 4, 8, 12, then output will be 40. Next is product. We will multiply the value in this. 4 multiply with the 2, multiply 8, then we will got 64. And mod. In case of mod, require a number and divisor. It will return the remainder after the number is divided by divisor. We will divide the number in this. Means 8 will divide by 5, and we will get the remainder 3 as a output. Next is square root. It will return the square root. We will write this, find the square root. 81 is 9, and int number. It rounds numbers to an integer. You will find an integer value in this 14.25, but integer is only 14. Now next, power. Here we will write a number and power. It returns the result of the number raised to some power. Power values we can find. For example, 5 power 3, and your result will be 125. Now next is count. It returns the count of the number of values. Count 4, 8, and 12. You will count the numbers are 3. Then output will be 3. Now next are the text functions. First is concatenate, means you can combine the text 1 and 2, join 2 or more. You can join more than 2 text. First text is touch, and next is pad, touchpad. It will combine. Your output will be in combined form. Next is left function, text then number character. It returns the specified number of characters from left side of the string. Suppose there is a touch, and we will return a number 3. First 3 letters will be returned in the form of output. Next is right. In case of right side, these 3 letters will be returned. Okay. And len text, it will find the length of the text, means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 output will be there. Upper text and lower text means your text will be in capital form, and here in small letters. The touch will be, you will find the result in capital form, and this will be in the lower form. Now next is logical functions, and first is max. It will find the largest value, means in these largest value 16 is out, will be output, and minimum value means smallest value, and smallest value in here is 4. And the average means you have to find the average of all the numbers, means add these 3 numbers, and there are 3 numbers, divide by 3, you will get the result 7. Now next is date functions. Today means return the current date. Write this function, and your current date will be displayed. And month, current month, it will return current month, means which month is now. You can say 7, the 7 will be returned. Year, it will return the current year, means 2019. Here it will, you can say, return the 2021. Day, it will return the current date is suppose 23, it will return 23. The common functions like sum, average, max, min can be used by using the down arrow of the auto run command. The most common functions are these sum, average, maximum, and minimum. These are most commonly used. And to use other functions, click on more function options. We have to use the more further advanced option. Next is charts in Excel. Now, what is chart? Chart is an effective way to display data in a pictorial form. underline this line. Okay, chart is just we use to display the data in a picture form. It make it easy to draw comparison and analyze the growth relationship and trend among the various values in a table. In a graph we can judge and analyze each and everything very easily. If we want to analyze the growth, or we want to compare the things, or we want to show a trend, then what are the components of a chart? First is chart title. Chart title describes the main aim and content of the chart, which represents your chart. First, this give a title to your chart means it will describe your main aim. Okay. Now, chart includes x-axis, and we take y-axis towards vertically and x-axis towards horizontally. X-axis is the horizontal axis of chart, and it is also called category axis. And Y is the vertical axis of chart. It is also called value axis. Now, this is your category axis, and this is your value axis. Now, next is plot area. It is a rectangular area. Like this, we take this is a rectangular, it is a rectangular form. Okay, it is just a rectangular form and bounded by two axes, x-axis and y-axis. It contains the actual chart and includes the plotted data series, category, and value axis. Here we will plot the values. Okay, in this area, in this rectangular area, we can plot a graph of any kind. Now look at a picture. This picture shows the components of chart. Now this is your x-axis towards this side, and this is your y-axis. Okay, and now this is the title of the chart, means sales of bicycle, and this is your x-axis and this is your y-axis. And next is data series. Now, what is data series is related to the set of values. Here is data series. We represent the values here, represented by bars or slices that represent data values. We represent the values here. We are representing in blue from bicycle sold and price per cycle in the red form. Okay, now data labels. Data labels include data values, category name, series name, legend, keys, and values from cells. Now what is data labels? Data labels will label these bars, labeling of these bars. We label the bars. Okay, now next is grid lines. Grid line can be either horizontal or vertical. It can be horizontal or vertical on the selected chart. It makes it easier to read and understand. With the help of grid lines, we can easily draw a graph. Next is legend. Legend is a key which shows the meaning of symbols and colors. Underline this line. What is legend? Meaning of it shows the meaning of symbol and colors used in the chart. Which color or which symbol do you want to use? We decide by using a legend. This is your legend. We are using here color blue for bicycle sold and red for price per cycle. You can use a many more colors. Now next is chart area. Area that includes all the object and elements in a chart. Chart is that area where we can draw a chart. Now next is creating a chart. Now to create a chart, follow these steps. First, select the range of cells. For example, A1, C1, 5 in this case, like this. Okay. And first select the range and then click on column chart from chart group. Select column. Under insert tab, go to insert tab and select this one column. Okay. Okay. Now we have selected the column. Next, select a 2D chart. Here is a 2D column. Here this 2D. 2D means we have to only select the x-axis and y1. And a chart will be inserted. And this chart will be inserted on your sheet, and it will be look like this. You can see the image here. Okay. and if you want to modify this chart, then you can modify. Now read the topics, and thank you students. Stay home, stay healthy.